All right, let's talk about Claude. But here's the thing you might not realize. We're not just talking about one tool. We're actually looking at a whole family of them. You've got Claude the Thinker, Claude Code, the Developer, and Claude Cowork, the Doer. Let's break down what each one actually does. So let me ask you this. You've probably heard of Claude, maybe even used it a bunch. But did you know there are really 3 different versions out there? And each one is built for a totally different job? Knowing which is kind of key to unlocking their real power. First up, let's talk about the one we're all pretty familiar with. This is our baseline, the original Claude. This is the thinker, the one you have a conversation with. Claude AI is basically your go-to brainstorming partner. It's amazing for writing up essays, summarizing really long articles, or just helping you wrap your head around complicated topics. It just lives in your browser or an app, ready to go whenever you are. And the best part about the standard Claude AI is how simple it is. There's zero setup, you just open it and start typing. But that simplicity is also its biggest weakness. It's this incredibly powerful brain, but it's stuck inside that chat window. It can't see your local files, it can't organize things on your computer. You still have to do all the manual work, all the copying and pasting. Okay, so now let's get to the doers. This is where things get really, really interesting. Because unlike the standard Claude, Claude Code and Claude Cowork aren't just thinking. They're AI agents that can actually take action right on your computer. First, there's Claude Code, and this one is tailor-made for developers. It lives inside the terminal, right where all the coding happens. And it's not just giving you code snippets, it's actually reading your entire project, it's understanding how all the pieces fit together, and it's making changes across tons of files all by itself. And what really makes this a game changer is the sheer scale. We're talking about a 1 million token context window. What does that mean? It means it can hold an entire super complex code base in its memory all at once. For finding bugs or doing huge updates, that's just a massive leap forward. This quote just nails it. The value here isn't about saving you a few seconds of typing. For developers, the return on investment is measured in whole workdays saved. It automates these incredibly tedious tasks that would have taken hours or maybe even days to grind through by hand. But what if you're not a developer? That's where Claude Cowork steps in. Think of this as a desktop app for the rest of us. It brings that same let me do it for you power to all of your normal everyday office work, like organizing files and handling repetitive tasks. Let's make this super concrete. Picture your downloads folder right now. Total mess, right? Well, with Cowork, you can just tell it to organize the whole thing. It'll scan every file, figure out a plan, create new folders for images, PDFs, whatever, and then move every single file into the right spot, all on its own. Now that is useful. So we've got one thinker and 2 doers. But what's the real difference between them? This is the big aha moment that pulls everything together. The first thing you've got to understand is that the underlying brain, the AI model itself, is pretty much the same for all 3. They're all powered by that same incredible Claude intelligence. And here it is. This is the key. The difference isn't what they know, it's where they're allowed to work. It all comes down to something called the execution layer. So let's break that down. The regular Claude AI, it operates in the browser. That's the chat layer. Claude Code works deep inside the terminal. That's the code base layer. And Claude Cowork, it runs right on your desktop with your files. That's the workflow layer. If you remember one thing, remember that. Okay, so that's the big idea. Now let's get practical. Which one of these should you actually be using? And for what? This chart does a great job of laying it all out. On the one hand, you have Claude AI, your thinking partner for ideas. Then you have Claude Code, the specialist agent for developers who need to build and fix things. And finally, Claude Cowork, the automation expert for all your desktop tasks and files. Let's make it even simpler. If you need to write a blog post, you use the standard Claude AI. If you're a developer trying to migrate a huge project, you need Claude Code. And if you're drowning in a messy research folder, or you need to build an expense report from a pile of receipts, Claude Cowork is absolutely your new best friend. Of course, how you access these tools depends on your plan. The free version is perfect for just trying things out. The Pro plan for about $20 a month gives you way more usage, and importantly, it unlocks Claude Code. And for the real power users, there are Max plans that give you even more capacity and early access. So, when you zoom out, what does this all really mean for where AI is headed? Well, it points to a massive shift, a move away from just thinking and advising to actually doing. And I think this quote just captures it perfectly. For years, AI tools have been about giving you suggestions. The next generation of AI, tools like Claude Work and Code, they don't just tell you the next step, they take the next step for you. This changes the whole game. We're officially in an era where AI can both think and do. It's not just a partner for ideas anymore. It's a collaborator that can do real, tangible work. So the only question left is, what are you going to put to work first?